I think in the beauty of all he had done, he realized if a woman was not created in the sphere of life, nothing would be accomplished. So the men are the strength of God's grace and his creation, but the women are the fire, and without fire, nothing works.
Please subscribe to Morris TVGH.
In a country on the African continent who may not have hope. A tower of inspiration for people who want to take the bull by the horn and move things from one stage to the other. A mother, an inspirer, and somebody who drives people to achieve. Somebody who cares about the people she governs. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to bring up here our guest of honor, Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. Jewel Howard Taylor. Shall we let the applause roll?
Thank you. Good evening to everyone. Your Excellency, Abna, all of the distinguished people here this evening, I'm grateful for this opportunity. And to her husband, Dr. Antwi, it's an honor to see you again. It's an honor for me this evening, really, and a privilege to be able to launch the brilliant work that we are celebrating this evening. Of a friend and a sister that I've known for only a very short period, but her life is so intense, it's already spilled over into mine. The first book I read was The Side We Chose to See. And though it's not being launched, because I think it already is, the new ones are. All of what she's spoken about tonight brings to bear just one thing: love for humanity, regardless of where they are. Some of the stories that she's written, as you read it, you will remember in your own heart that it could have just been you. They're not extraordinary criminal endeavors taken on by women for which they thought they would find themselves in jail. And the stories that she continues to reiterate speak of women like you and I, bruised and battered, with many marks of pain, oppression, isolation, and marginalization hidden behind our eyes and our smiles. If one were to visit our homes, we all may be shocked at what we see. Nevertheless, out of the ashes, we rise and continue to do what we do, each in our own field. Many women, like some of the positive stories she's spoken of tonight, have taken a new lease of life, coming through the ashes of their pain, and continue to accomplish great things. Fortunately, we do have many women who are also doing great things here on our continent and here in Ghana. But as a gender activist, and I'm not a feminist either, Papa would say feminism is against what God has authored, and he's right when you look at the biblical direction of what women and men are and what they should do. But while we appreciate the roles of both male and females, I'd like to say a short story. It's a biblical story. If you read the Bible, you'll find out that God made everything, and he said it was what? It was good. Man was created. Everything was created. So what did God see? that made him step back and create woman? And that's a question maybe Senior Bishop Sa will answer for me one day. But I think in the beauty of all he had done, he realized if a woman was not created in the sphere of life, nothing would be accomplished. So the men are the strength of God's grace and his creation, but the women are the fire, and without fire, nothing works. And so as we deal with, thank you, as we deal with the issues, and they are very real issues, we come not just to celebrate the brilliance of a writer, and I like the way our chairman put it, who happens to be a woman, but we celebrate all women. For every one of us here and across the spheres of our world are doing great things where they are. Without them, I believe nothing succeeds. And this is how God intended it. I'm not saying it. She has written many books. The Side We Choose to See, The Purposeful Chaos, Who Moved My Heels, and Chicken for Your Soul. This first book that drew my attention was launched in 2012, as she had already said, written about women in prisons. And I was shocked to find out when we discussed this book that there are actually children living with their mothers in prisons here in Ghana. When I went home, I said, I'm going to find out if that's happening in Liberia. Because I think that is the most, and I'm still trying to find the word, of what could happen to a child whose mother is incarcerated. Regardless of what the crimes are, no child at any age should be left with a mother in prison. And maybe there's an issue for the church. That should not be happening. But Abna has brought us, and excuse me, Abna has brought us to the realization of not just the strength and the tenacity of what women bring and who we are, but I think the fact is that something has to be done. I pray that after we leave here tonight, after listening to the beautiful poems, but deep if you follow the words and the stories that we want to imagine are not the truth, that will actually do something about some of what's happening right in our backyards. I want to thank Abna for agreeing to work with the Jewel Starfish Foundation, which is my foundation of 22 years. I've been doing work for women and children. Thank you. But I've never done work with women in prisons. And the truth is, we must cover all of our bases, whether they're young women who are forced into early marriage, who may not have equal opportunities for empowerment and education, or middle-aged women who cannot find their way and are forced into prostitution and some of the other vices we find. It is our responsibility as a community of women and he for she champions, but of fathers and of sons, to find out what can be done to make a difference in the lives of those who may have lost their way. All of the statistics prove that women are still marginalized, some of the reasons for which women find themselves at the other end of the law. A sad part of the stories that she wrote was about a young lady who had left Nigeria, I think, and come to Ghana for greener pastures. And she used to braid hair, and one evening she decided to go and get some hair before the next day. And she found herself on a strange street and trying to find her way. There was a raid, a police raid. She was arrested along with all of the criminals, and nobody believed that she was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. She has spent many years in jail. I think that is a travesty. I'm happy that the Secretary of the Bar Association is here this evening. A lot of our lawyers, and I'm one, even though I don't practice because I'm a politician, but there is work to be done, pro bono work, because it's not just the girls you will find in these instances. There are also many young men who have lost their way. You can just imagine if someone had not reached out to you, where would you be? But tonight we come to celebrate the brilliance of a writer who happens to be a woman. Beyond that, the fire in her life that has enabled her to move beyond the ordinary. And to not just write about these things, but to do something about it. As we launch the books she has written, I pray that you will join her. Maybe not tonight, maybe tomorrow. Maybe you can find others who may be interested in changing the lives of someone. Maybe you can reach your hand out to the Zoe Foundation, the Angel Zoe, who will be judged not about all of the many things we've gathered and the so-called good things that we do. So I could not miss this for the world. I wanted to be a part of this amazing work that is going on here in Ghana and the other countries. And as we are now partners with both foundations, I believe we'll do greater works. I pray you will reach into your hearts first, because we are moved by our hearts to see what support you or others can give for this important work. I want to thank our classical musician from Ghana who's made the evening so beautiful by his beautiful music. Medasi. And I'd like to congratulate Abina and her husband and all of those who have joined her at one point or the other for the great work that she's doing, but more importantly, for the hearts that she's touching and the lives that she is transforming by her attention and by her passion. Congratulations.
Please subscribe to Morris TVGH.
What's up, people? This is your darling boy, Popudality, Keep watching Morris TV. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, Morris TV. Keep on watching. Stay tuned and subscribe.
Body back.